so today it's a Q&A time. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a long time because Alex did the last one, so it's probably been like 2 months since I have done one, but I asked you guys in our Hello Against Facebook group for some questions and you definitely delivered, and now I lost it, so now I gotta find the questions. Alright, I found them. Go me. So we're just gonna go through a bunch of these different questions and see how far we get in about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll call it good. So the first one is from Oralee, and she says, what's your favorite planner between the Happy Planner or the Plum Paper Planner? So I've never actually used the Plum Paper Planner, so I wouldn't actually know, but if the Plum Paper Planner, which is a tongue twister, if that has a hardcover, I'll automatically choose that one. I hate the cover of the Happy Planner. It just deteriorates so fast and it's so flimsy. She also asked, what is your favorite hobbies apart from planning and beauty type stuff? So I really like organization and home decor. It's hard to tell because our apartment's so small and I don't have like time to do any of the things that I like to do, but I really like reading like blogs and websites about that sort of stuff. So my favorite one right now is Apartment Therapy, and it kind of operates very BuzzFeed-like, but better, if that makes sense. So it's like the 5 things you should do for when guests come over, or the 10 things you're making mistakes about in your living room. So I really like reading that stuff, and I really hope to get into that more when we have a house. But other than that, honestly, blogging and filming were my hobbies before they became a full-time job. So I still kind of consider them my hobbies, except obviously they're paying the rent, which is lovely. Heather asks, favorite Doris sticker book ever, and your favorite spread in your current planner. So I think my favorite sticker book ever might be Mermaid Tales, which is really hard to like claim. No, I really like the County Fair one too. Crap. I would say County Fair, just because it's so unique and fun. I could easily find like nautical stickers elsewhere, so I have to say that's my favorite. And I'm gonna pull over my planner and pick a spread. Just all over the place. What's my favorite spread? I'm actually gonna do a flip through. I'll just show this one. I'm gonna do a flip through of my planner after the new year to show you all of 2016 spreads, or at least the last half. I did an initial like first half planner spread flip through a couple of months ago in June. So if you guys want to see that, you can definitely go find that still. But I really like the County Fair spread. This is the one, the sticker book I really like, and I just think it's super cute. And I already added like a Polaroid photo in. I went back and added photos in. Leslie asks, favorite doctor on Doctor Who? For the longest time I liked 10, and then 11 came around and I really liked 11, and I really liked 12. So I kind of like the current doctor. Like whoever is the current doctor I really like. Nyanki asks, is being, I probably said her name wrong because I can't say it right, is being self-employed what you expected it to be? In some ways, yes, and in a lot of ways, no. I expected it to be kind of like every day, like daily stuff feels exactly the same, but I didn't really expect the feedback or the way other people would treat us, if that makes sense. Like, it's really hard for people to acknowledge that, like, just because we're working at home doesn't mean we are free whenever they need us, or that they're like, hey, come over, do this, and we're just like, no, we're actually working, like we have to keep working. So that's been a lot different than I thought. I don't know what I really expected to happen, but I'm just surprised at how hard it is for other people to understand what we do. And I also thought I would be better at like turning off, like I'd work a 9 to 5 and then be done. But I think that was a foolish pipe dream because it's not me at all. I love working and I love what I do. And it wasn't like work before, if that makes sense. Like, it would be one thing if I started working from home on a brand new project that I hadn't been doing before. Because I blogged and I did YouTube videos for like at least 3 years before any of this started. Like, I started my YouTube channel in 2010. And so it was never actually work to do this. I always found time to fit this in. It was always my hobby. So I find a really hard time turning off and actually having time to like do other stuff, because this is the stuff that I would do in that time that I had extra, if that makes sense. Wendy asks, what is your favorite color? I really like purple, but I'm also a fan of orange. What made you fall for Alex, and what do you miss about college? Just big questions here. So Alex, it's really hard to, I think, pinpoint why you fell for someone. It just felt so comfortable. Like, we started talking online. I knew him before he went to Croatia, but we started talking online a lot while he was overseas, and we just like had so much in common. So when he came back and we actually started dating, it just felt so normal. It would feel weird not to have him in my life. It just felt like this was what I was looking for, and it didn't seem difficult or complicated or hard, regardless of what was happening around us that was difficult, complicated, and hard. The fact that we were together just worked, and I felt good about it, and I could tell that I was becoming a better person, and I guess that's why I fell in love with him. What do I miss about college? I liked school. Like, I liked learning new things and going to class, and if the classes were interesting, I enjoyed them, but I really don't miss that much from college. I didn't find it that difficult. I felt like it was a waste of my time, and I could be doing other stuff, so I'm kind of glad it's over. Freya asks, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Hopefully still doing this. I hope I can do this until I am like 80 years old and the internet's completely different and it's like a SIM card in your head. I would love to be doing this in 5 to 10 years, and I feel like we'll probably end up moving out of the state by then, but for at least the next 5 years we'll be still in Michigan. And then she asks, what would your dream house be like? I really like modern houses. Like, if I could get a subdivision house outside of a subdivision, that would be like supreme. But I've never actually lived in a subdivision, so I kind of like the idea of that, of having a community and kids for my kids to play with, and like trick-or-treaters. I've never had trick-or-treaters, so that would be awesome. And I really think like an open, airy, bright space with a lot of ways to add my personality to it. I want a house that's basically a blank slate. I don't want it to already have character, if that makes sense. I don't want like a quirky kitchen. I want just like a classic, simple, blank kitchen that I can add my personal touch to. And then she also asks, how would you name your children? So Alex and I actually already have the names for our first boy, first girl. We want 2 to 3 children. It depends. Twins run in my family, so that might change things up. Like, if I end up with twins, I don't know, it's complicated. But we want to name our son James Gregory. James is my father's name, and Gregory is Alex's dad's name. And then our daughter will be named Amelia, but we don't have a middle name yet. But we just really like those names, and whenever we joke about our future children, we always call them by those names. So it'd be weird, I feel like, if we didn't call them that. It just makes sense. Like, they already exist in our minds as James and Amelia. Orly also asks, where are you thinking of moving to after being married? We are looking in Grand Rapids, and we found a couple of houses, but we actually haven't been able to go over there and look at any specifically, but we're hoping to move early spring, maybe summer, if things go according to plan. Sarah asks, are you going to share your wedding day with us on YouTube? Yes, most definitely. We hired videographers, so there will be like a professional video, but we also plan on vlogging our separate like get ready process and all of that stuff, and then we'll probably like do a mashup video where you can see what Alex is thinking, what I am thinking, and all that fun stuff. Laurel asks, do you have any recommendations for someone starting out making their own stickers? Sticker-wise, hand cutting versus silhouette. Definitely don't hand cut. Alex thought I was ridiculous when I did that, and he's the reason that this whole thing started, was because I was trying to hand cut stickers. And I strongly advise not to use LD sticker paper. It is the worst, absolute worst. Kyla, I think, asks, what is your favorite food and why? I really like macaroni and cheese, and I really like burgers, but I don't like complicated things. Alex and I actually talked about this recently, and I came to the conclusion I like things in their original states. So not like country states, but like macaroni and cheese as just macaroni and cheese. I don't need you to add bacon or lobster to it, just regular macaroni and cheese. I like plain chips. I like my food just meat and cheese. Like, I like things plain. But macaroni is definitely my favorite. Or elephant ears, because I mean, it's deep fried dough with sugar on it. That's just heavenly. Hannah asks, who is your favorite Doctor Who companion? I really like Amy Pond. She's definitely my favorite. Latitude asks, what's your favorite emoji? I really like the face that has like its eyes closed and its little cheeks are blushing and she's like, I really like that one. I'll include a picture if I'm smart enough and savvy enough. Katie asks, how long did it take to make the business enough to become self-employed and not have another job? It took almost a full year. So Alex quit his job about 4 or 5 months into Oh Hello because his job was just crappy. It was just bad. And I stopped my full-time job in July. And it was really just when it was too hard to do both. And so we actually took a little bit of a pay cut when I quit my full-time job. But this is what I want to do. Like growing up, I had all these other plans and stuff, but then I came to the realization that I like to be home. I like having the life I built surround me and not be in like a desk job. Like I like desk jobs and I liked working where I worked. I loved it. It was an amazing place to work and my colleagues were awesome. We hung out all the time and had game nights, even though we were like very different in age. Like it was the best work environment I could have possibly been in. But I've always seen myself as taking time off to raise my children and being a stay-at-home mom. Like I know in my heart that that's what makes me happy. So when we decided to try and pursue this full time, it was a bit of a risk. And every day working for yourself is a bit of a risk. You never know what's going to happen, or if the market's going to suddenly change, or people suddenly hate stickers. Like you don't know, but it makes me so happy that we just decided to take the risk. Danielle asks, what keeps you motivated to maintain your blog and YouTube? Honestly, it's kind of a story, so let's just get into it. When I first started my blog and YouTube, I had these grand ideas that I was going to be this huge success and everyone was going to love me and it was going to be amazing. And I feel like everyone starts that, regardless of what they say, they kind of hope for that to happen, that they'll be like super awesome and famous in like seconds. And then a year passed and nothing happened. I had like 32 followers on YouTube. Then another year passed and I decided to start my blog and I only had like 100 followers. When I got 100, it was like a huge deal. And it came to a point where I stopped doing it for a while because I started for the wrong reasons. And when I realized that there was this like thing missing, when I stopped and I missed it, it changed for me. It became something that I did for myself and something that I felt proud of doing for myself. I blogged because I liked it. I liked taking photos and getting better at photography. I liked writing and having this archive of things that I created and put out in the world. And I wouldn't say I completely stopped caring about followers because it's really hard to do that. And if you are able to separate that, more power to you. That's amazing. But I changed why I was doing it. It wasn't completely for that reason anymore. It was because I liked it. And then of course there's an upswing, which is like, I feel like everyone always says that. When you stop doing it for other people and you start doing it for yourself, that's when your passion really comes through and people really, I don't know what's happening with my hair, but that's when people really start to see the real you and the genuine you, and then your success comes. So I do it because I love to do it and I can't imagine who I would be if I don't. It's such a big part of me that like I want it to be what people think of me. Like if they're like, Kayla, oh, she blogs, she does YouTube. Like, that's what I want people to think of when they think of me. And I couldn't imagine not doing it. Christina asks, do you have any planner newbie tips? I've been doing a lot of Planning 101 videos, and so if you want to watch those will probably be super helpful. It's about stuff like you don't need, the things you should get at first, like what kind of stickers you need, and that sort of stuff. So just look for anything that says Planning 101 in the title, and they will definitely help you out. Kara asks, best letter in the alphabet. I really like writing K's, and it's probably because it's in my name, but I write in cursive, and I really like the way that K looks. Sabrina asks, if you had to get a tattoo today, what would it be of? So I thought about this. I don't plan on getting a tattoo, but I know what I would get if I got a tattoo. So I would get in white ink, you know, like the, it kind of looks like a scar. It was like a thing for a while. I would get Courage Doesn't Always Roar on my wrist. That's what I would get, but in white ink so it wasn't like too standouty. Susan asks, what's your favorite sticker set and what's your best seller? MDNs are definitely our best seller. They're also a pain in the ass, but all good things are usually a pain in the ass, but MDNs are the best seller. And my favorite sticker set, I really like the Arctic Aquatic weekly kit. Any weekly kit really, because it was kind of like my brainchild to start them, and I really like weekly kits. Aislinn, I think? Aislinn. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. She asks, do you ever think you'd be where you are now 5 years ago? 5 years ago was 2010. I just graduated high school and I started my YouTube channel back in January of 2010. And I don't know, I think I still wanted to be a journalist. So no, never, ever. Did you have any pets growing up? Do you have any now? And do you want any in the future? So growing up, I had a cat named Carlos and we had a golden retriever named Cody. And then we got a golden retriever named Hunter. And then we had a German Shepherd named Jacoby and a boxer named Buster. And then I had a cat for like a month named Charlie, and that just didn't work out. He ended up living with my aunt. And now we have a dog named Bancroft, a golden retriever, and a German Shepherd named Otto, and I have Tardis. And Tardis has been with me for 4 years, and Alex and I plan on getting some sort of dog when we move into our house. I want a Corgi, and he wants an Australian Sheltie, so maybe we'll do like a combo. But I always had a thing for golden retrievers. What's my favorite food? It's, as I said before. And what's your best memory with Alex? Obviously when he proposed. There's a video. It was amazing. It was so awesome. Alyssa asks, how do you stay inspired to post on your blog with a busy schedule? When I left my full-time job to pursue this, I did a terrible job at it. I had a really hard time balancing everything because it was just so different from what I was used to. But now I'm back on track and it's just, I don't feel like myself if I'm not doing it. And it's just so much fun. Liz asks, where do you find inspiration for your designs? Like sticker designs, basically everywhere. And it's based on what I find that I need. So like, I just made these flight stickers because I'm going on a flight soon. I think this video is actually going up when I'm flying, maybe? I don't know. Schedule's getting weird in December because I'm doing a lot of pre-filming. My hair is, I'm so sorry guys. There are days where I'm like, my hair is cool, I got this. But today is just weird. So like if I need the sticker, I'll design it, and I take inspiration from like beauty blogs and style magazines and like home decor and that kind of stuff. Katie asks, do you want kids? If so, how many? I want 2 to 4. I don't want an odd number, but I would prefer 2. But as I said before, there's an issue with twins and I want a boy and a girl. So if I have twins that are both girls, I'm probably gonna have 4 just because I want it to be balanced, but I also want boys and girls. So it's kind of complicated. All right, I'm gonna do this last question. It's by Katie. She asks, I know the red poppy signifies remembrance, but does it have any special meaning to you? Was there a reason that it's your logo? I talked about this a little bit in the Facebook group, but the poppy for me, it seems to appear in very life-defining moments, and it's weird to explain. So the first time I really saw a poppy like in the wild was when I was in France when I was 16, and that was a really big time for me. Like I went on this trip, the study abroad trip, with a completely different school and people I never met, and it was such a weird experience for someone like me to push myself to do this, even though I was really uncomfortable and really nervous basically the entire time. Like it was my first time ever traveling abroad. So I saw a poppy while we were in France near Normandy, which is insanely coincidental. And then the next time I saw a poppy was when I was in Italy, and it was July before I started the shop, and it was on this like castle grounds up on this hill that we like climbed up this hill to go to, and that was the trip where I really started to consider starting a business and doing something on my own. And there was just one poppy, just one in this field, and I saw it and I took a photo of it, and I just told my mom, I was like, Mom, there's just a poppy here. And of course everyone's like, it's just a poppy, but it felt like such a life-defining moment to see it. And then I stumbled upon this stationery shop where this woman just made everything by hand, and it was quirky and lovely, and it felt right and it felt good to be there and to feel that and to have all these ideas. So the poppy just kind of is there for me, and it also is very military based, and all of Alex's family is in the military, and it just felt right, I guess. I don't know if that's too cliche or awkward or weird, but like it just felt like what I wanted to represent this project, this thing that I was doing over a year ago now. So that's why it's a poppy. But that is it. Those are all of my answers to your awesome questions. Thank you guys so much for asking them. I really appreciate it, and I love these videos to get to know you guys better through my questions and answers and seeing what you guys find interesting. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!